Carolina Chris. I'm out here at the Native American powwow, repping our people. Lumby's in the building. Lumby's in the building. Yeah. Lumby's in the building.
Alright guys, it's your boy Carolina Chris 26. Alright guys, I'm your boy Carolina Chris 26. This is my latest episode to my new series I started called Native Heroes in Comics. It's to highlight my love for my culture. I am Native American, a member of the Cohery tribe, and my love for comics. I buy comics on a regular. I love them. I love reading them. I love collecting them. So, two birds with one stone, you know. Show love to my culture. Show love to my community. Hope everybody loves my video. Now, I will give you the character's name, their origin, their powers, their first appearance, and their creator. I'll try to keep the video as short as possible. So, but if I can inspire one person out there to go and pick up a comic book, then I'll feel like my job is done. You know, that'll make me feel like I'm blessed. Which, you know, I am blessed. You know, we all are blessed. So guys, tonight's episode is about a Native American character that goes by the name of Forge. You might have heard of him. And if you have, and if I explain anything about the character wrong, drop in the comments and let us know the truth. Well, Forge was born to a Cheyenne tribe and was gifted with great shaman potential. He was raised by a Nazi to become a great shaman and to defeat their nemesis, the adversary. He spent most of his youth under Nazi's training. At puberty, his mutant powers manifested. He was now able to understand any mechanical device and could create and devise that he could imagine. His powers made him doubt whether he should continue to train as a shaman since they seemed to clash with his mystical heritage. This confusion made him rebel against Nazi and his teaching. He enlisted in the army and was shipped to Vietnam. While there, he used his powers to create weapons and other tech. Forge was soon promoted to sergeant and was even offered a spot in SHIELD, but he rejected it. During the war, he was confronted with great personal dilemmas, such as having to kill a very young man of the Vietnamese army and the responsibility of leading his entire squad. When Forge's platoon was all but wiped out, he felt responsible and blamed himself for the deaths of his men. Determined and hardened by his guilt, he cast an ancient forbidden spell that he had learned during his trainings to become a shaman. Using the souls of his deceased comrades, Forge was able to summon a group of demons that would prove to be very vital. The demons helped him defeat the Vietnamese army soon after. After the Vietnamese army had been defeated, the demons refused to stop, and he was forced to call in an airstrike that would vanquish them all. This incident resulted in the loss of his right hand and leg. Furthermore, it would come to be discovered that the spectral gate he had opened during his spell would act as a doorway for the adversary to arrive on Earth. After this, Forge vowed to never use magic again. He instead dedicated himself to training his mutant abilities. When Tony Stark had decided to stop making weapons for the government, Forge was hired as his replacement and became their primary weapons manufacturer. One of his more notable assignments was to replicate Rom's weapons in order to defeat the intergalactic threat of the dire wraiths. For this purpose, he created the Neutralizer, a device capable of suppressing the powers of a superhuman. After this time, Rogue had been framed for murder. Henry Gyrich and Valerie Cooper decided against Forge's will to use the Neutralizer device on her in order to send a message to all the superhumans that the government was able to defend themselves against them if need be. When Forge discovered this, he rushed to the place where the Neutralizer was going to be used against Rogue. However, while trying to prevent Gyrich from firing it, Storm was shot in her place. Forge prevented the arrest of Storm and took her to his home. Storm was devastated. She had lost her ability to fly and was no longer one with nature. She was quickly losing the will to carry on. Forge helped her to accept her new powerless situation. They talked for hours and even shared a kiss. Everything was going well for the pair until she heard a conversation between Forge and Garrett and discovered that it was Forge who invented the neutralizer. She departed soon after. They met again when she and the other X-Men saved Forge's life from an attack of the Dire Wraiths. Nazi had also joined them. After that fight, the Dire Wraiths tried to merge Earth with their own world, leading to the destruction of Earth. Forge joined forces with Rom, and using the power of a device created by Forge that had been fused with Rom's technology, they defeated the Dire Wraiths and put an end to their dastardly plans. It was revealed later that Nazi was actually killed and replaced by a Dire Wraith. The adversary had taken control of Nazi's body. I'll give you a little bit of his power set, because there's a lot of information on Forge, so I don't want to like have you stuck in the video forever. But if you ever want to go back and like you want to hear more about him, let me know. I'll do a second video. Alright, his powers and abilities. Now these are very interesting. Forge has the mutant ability to innately understand any mechanical device and create anything mechanical he can think of. Apparently, he can perceive something called mechanical energy. In this way, his subconscious works at an incredible speed and allows him to understand the capabilities and functions of certain devices. So if he can think of a function to be done by a machine, he's able to build it. Aside from his mutant ability, he was trained in the magical arts of the Cheyenne tribe. He was born with an incredible potential of a shaman. In his training, he learned a great variety of magical spells. He is able to separate his mind from body and travel in a spirit form. Also, his magical powers allow him to create a portal to bring demons to this world at a cost of the spirits of humans, a spell he had used twice. Due to his military combat training, Forge is a good hand-to-hand combatant and a skilled marksman. Some of his inventions: his prosthetic hand and leg, that aside from working perfectly as limb replacements, they also have other stuff implanted in them. They restore after being destroyed. The hand had a shield incorporated made of energy. They could fire beams. The hand was implanted with a hacking device, and his leg could slowly suppress mutant powers close to him. Several weapons like a sniper rifle with great range and destructive capabilities that also scramble electronic systems, a photon rifle, several types of grenades that were stored in the same compartment, a bomb that guided itself to its target, a device that worked like a portable cerebro that was not only for mutants but also for any super being and different alien races, the neutralizer that could take away the powers of any super being. It was used on Storm, who stayed powerless for a very long time until Forge invented another device to reverse the side effects. A medical kit that took cell samples from people, checked them for diseases, and provided antibiotics. A bag that could exceed its physical capabilities and store many things. Spacesuits with no movement reductions. A psychic dampener, which prevented the use of telepathic abilities. An implant put on Mystique that prevented her from turning into a member of the X-Men or X-Factor for more than 30 seconds. Also, every time she used her powers, a signal was sent. A similar one was placed on Sabretooth that prevented him from attacking anyone without permission. A disc that downloaded government files without the chance of being detected. Gauntlets created for Surge so she can control and direct her powers. A time machine that also allowed a traveler to choose alternate realities he'd like to visit. Wow, this dude is like a Swiss Army knife, man. Crazy. He's got a lot. I like this guy, man. A lot more on him. I mean, him and Storm had a huge love affair. It was crazy. I mean, the dude was like a pimp, man. He was like the girls were all after him, man. It was crazy. Weeks later, Storm returned to Forge's house, expecting him to help her recover her powers. She found that his house had been abandoned. Suddenly, Nazi, the adversary, appeared and told her that Forge had gone crazy and was working to bring the adversary into his world. She went to find Forge, who was on a mountain using his magical powers once again. Storm stabbed him, only to realize that he was actually trying to revert the effects of the spell he cast in Vietnam. Forge and Storm were transported to a different reality, where they were the only people alive. They spent a year together on this alternate Earth. In the course of this year, they began to truly love one another and realized that the adversary was giving them a chance to start a new life on this new Earth while he was destroying the real one. They decided to abandon the life and happiness they had built there and confront the adversary. Forge created a device that would give Storm her powers back. With a mix of Forge's magic and technological powers and Storm's elemental powers, they managed to return to the real Earth. They joined the other X-Men and went to confront the adversary. He was too powerful for them to defeat. Realizing the only way to defeat him was for Forge to cast a similar spell to the one he had in Vietnam. Without any other choice, Forge cast the spell and sacrificed the souls of his 9 fellow X-Men, including the love of his life, Storm. The X-Men that died that day were Storm, Rogue, Wolverine, Psylocke, Colossus, Dazzler, Longshot, Havoc, and Madeline Pryor. But not all was lost. The X-Men were revived by Roma and established a new base on the Australian continent. The X-Men decided to continue to let everyone think they had actually died. Forge was devastated by the thought of him having had killed them. He harbored a great guilt and fell into depression. Magic, Ilyana Rasputin, angered by the apparent death of her brother Colossus, went to take revenge on Forge, since he was the only one she felt could be blamed. Magic took him to Limbo, where they had a magical battle. He asked her to kill him so that he could join his love Storm in the afterlife. She didn't and proceeded to tell him that he wasn't worthy of joining the other X-Men or her brother. Oh my God, yo, this is getting crazy, man. Like, I'm like, wow. Holy crap. So anyways, guys, yeah, I hope y'all like this character. I hope you take the time to find out more about him yourself, because it's like a whirlwind that just went on in that little bit of time, man. Like, I try to keep the videos as short as possible, but holy crap. So a lot of stuff just went on in that little bit of time. So guys, I hope y'all appreciated my latest video to Native Heroes in Comics. This one was about Forge. He is a Cheyenne Swiss Army knife. And, wow. Yeah. If you want to know more about this character, let me know. Drop in the inbox. Or, you know, you go up to pick his first appearance up yourself, you know, check him out. Yeah, his first appearance was the Uncanny X-Men issue 184. His cover date was August 1st, 1984. In-store date was May 8th, 1984. Guys, I'm glad y'all stopped by, and I really hope y'all appreciate the video. Be safe, God bless, and always remember to make comic book collecting fun again. Peace.